faculty, proud parents, and above all, the graduates. Good afternoon and my congratulations. I can't believe that I would be back here in the very same stage where I also received my diploma when I graduated more than 20 years ago. It's actually kind of funny because I feel like I was just one of the average students of Maragondon Parochial School. I didn't think that one day I would come back here and be a guest speaker for its 25th graduation exercise. So this is actually an honor. I don't want to make a fancy speech that most of you won't understand and probably forget as soon as I finish. I want to share with you the real life experiences that hopefully may inspire all of you too. So here's my story. I was an average student. I lived a very normal life here in Maragondon, Cavite. I was just a kid who wanted to help her family to have a better life. I remember that when I was younger, I would help my mom in her small restaurant. I would sell barbecues, isaw, sago, and we even used to have a store in Maragondon public market. And usually there are no classes you would see me there selling gift items and clothes. But when I got into MPS, one thing that I'm very proud of is more than just challenging us to excel in our studies, they were also able to instill the importance of valuing our family and make sure that we live in honor of Christ's teachings through having good values and principles. With this, at a very young age, I know that I have to find my purpose in life. This inspired me to dream big. I've always told my mom that I wanted to work at EBS-CBN because I want to be in the service of the Filipino people. Even after graduating MPS, I made sure to maintain good grades so I can graduate college, apply at EBS, help my family, and do the things that I'm very passionate about. Being at EBS-CBN was definitely a dream come true. I was the researcher of Matang when we newly launched that show, and it was a wonderful experience to explain the science of things and go into crazy adventures looking for animals to feature because it was an educational show. Imagine being in an island searching for albino crabs, tarantula, and sea snakes. Yes, medyo buwis buhay ng konti yung trabaho namin. Then, other than that, syempre you have to patch it and make sure it stays alive for Kuya Kim's shoe. And if it dies, the animals that we have to find some again. Definitely matanglawing, unique experiences that I will never forget. I also worked as a segment producer and writer at Pailon ngayon. And during that time, I felt it was surreal working with Sir Ted Pailon. I've always looked up to him when I was still young. I remember when we had our first Christmas party, and he said, I know that this girl would come a long, long way. And coming from him, I was really surprised because he was the Ted Pailon. I grew up seeing him on TV every day, and it was such an honor hearing that, and it further inspired me to work even harder. Being in that show, doing investigative stuff and doing public service segments gave me an opportunity not just to help other people, but to know their stories as well. Those stories were able to make me understand life in a better perspective. That whatever things we are going through, we have to look at it in more positive outlook because a lot of people are going through far worse. Oh. And every time I do investigative segments or entrapment operations, my mom over there gets really very worried. And nababalitaan ko na lagi siyang nag-rosary to pray for me and for my safety. And most of the time, I will always assure her that the mighty Father will always protect me so she doesn't have to worry. Aside from working at News and Current Affairs, I also work at ABS-CBN's TV Entertainment Department. I was part of Llama de Barrio, Gato de Lead, Eagle Wise, Bridges of Love, and Pangako Sayo. So most of you by now would think that I had a glamorous life working with the most famous actors in the Philippines. Like for example, Angel Locsin, Jericho Rosales, Ian Veneracion, Maha Salvador, Paolo Avelino, and of course, the favorite love team of everyone, Catherine Bernardo and Daniel Padilla. But it is not an easy job at all. Maybe in a week, we get to at least sleep 3 hours every other day. All in the end, you know what inspired me was the thought that even just for 15 seconds, if we would be able to make our viewers smile, laugh, feel relieved, or inspire them by what they are watching, if they would be able to forget whatever hardships they are going through, then all our hard work is worth it. At some point in my life, I remember how difficult it was to be a breadwinner of the family after my dad retired. I would get 2 to 3 shows so I can send money to help my brother and sister's schooling and send some also for my parents. I have always been absent during family occasions or wouldn't stay long because I have tons of work to do. I have funny stories of falling asleep while walking, coordinating even if I'm about to enter an operating room, or even when I'm already inside the recovery room, working while having a fever, running a teleserye unit while having GERD attacks. That means I'm vomiting most of the time. I sleep on floors or wherever I can so I can get some power nap. There were even times when you have to continue writing a script while crying and dealing with the matters of the heart. But just because you're heartbroken doesn't mean that you can't be effective with work. There is no excuse because people are counting on you. But for you kids, study first. And of course, get ready. Because there will be instances where your values and your principles will be put into a test. But as long as you are standing up for what is right, fight for it and do not bend. Remember what Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. In all honesty, for the past years, when things get challenging, I would usually hide at ABS-CBN's chapel and I'd cry my heart out there and pray. Because at the end of it all, when you lift it up to God, think of your family, or think of how many viewers are expecting you to have a good show, or how you can help them and be a tool for change. When you think of purpose, that's when you rise up and get focused on achieving your goals. Last year, I started producing a travel show that airs in ANC. It's called Becoming Filipino, Your Travel Blog. Becoming Filipino firmly believes that more than marveling at picture sites that God has so generally endowed upon this country of more than 7,600 islands, travel would be more authentic, personal, and transformative if it becomes an effective vehicle for understanding and helping the people or the community. This show gave me a better work-life balance. I can get the perks of traveling for free, plus it encourages our viewers to share happiness and inspiration to the world. This made me feel fulfilled and really very happy. With everything I shared with you, it is very important to recognize how your family, your alma mater, and all the people around you could help in your journey towards achieving your dreams. You just have to open yourselves up to learning. As I put my speech into one end, may I request the faculty members of MPS to please stand up. And of course, my loving parents. I'll take this once in a lifetime opportunity to thank all of you for all the hard work undying love, and commitment. I will not be here where I am now without your support. You're all a huge blessing to my life. Let's give them a round of applause. And to all our dear students, I encourage each and every one of you to dream big. And once you figured out what you want using this one, remember to follow this as well. And believe that He who is up there will be guiding you in pursuing a greater purpose in life. Again, graduates, congratulations.